I see you shiver with anticipation.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Holy crap. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Harry, how was your Thanksgiving?
Minus my Cowboys losing, it was a very good one.
Oh, the turkey tasted so much better after that. Cousin Phil?
Oh, it was good, man. We went to in-laws. Spent with her
Awesome.
family.
I cooked this year, and the turkey was fantastic, if I do say so myself. Hello, Big Chris. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. We kind of took a week off there because it was Thanksgiving. Plus, also, Shango was ill. He still is. And Shango, if you're watching, Adrian, please get well soon, brother. We're all there with you. We're all praying for you. So get well soon.
Yeah, Shango, get well. Is that how he mocks me? Get well, Shango.
I can't
Wish
really
you the best, brother. That's for him.
So let's talk about a couple of things that are near and dear to your heart, which is your coach for Notre Dame. He switched he's going to LSU, and Riley from Oklahoma is going to USC. So what are your thoughts on both of those moves?
It's funny, man, because I'm in like LSU country here with the wife and coworkers and all that. And, when this news dropped yesterday, I got a bunch of, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you ain't, man. You ain't sorry. Our coach.
The haters will hate because, the haters will hate.
A lot of them down here ain't happy about this move, which is because they don't know Kelly. They don't know anything outside the SEC. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they were looking at Lincoln Riley and Jumbo Fisher. They didn't want either one of them. I'm like, geez, you guys don't want anybody to coach LSU. But Jim Kelly, not Jim Kelly, Jim Kelly. Right, he's done what he's supposed to do in Notre Dame. I mean, he's the winningest coach, man. He beat Newt Rockne this year. Everywhere he went, I believe he went to a school in Massachusetts, took them, rebuilt them. He put Cincinnati on the map, and he re-put Notre Dame back on the map, even though we could not get past Alabama.
Goodbye to both players win games, not coaches. Tell that to Nick Saban.
This guy here. I love Chris, man, but I guess it was his coach's fault the Cardinals lost.
Well, it was the players' fault because it's the players.
Yeah.
Or Oklahoma.
Right. Players.
Or Oklahoma.
Right.
It was Riley's fault. Oklahoma lost.
Oh, he's an Oklahoma fan, so his problem
Sooners.
Why Riley left? I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in there. Riley left, man, because he knew Oklahoma was going to the SEC, and he knew he couldn't win against them. Oklahoma's going to be a doormat. They're not going to be a powerhouse anymore.
Good luck there.
Yeah, they got to play. They got tough. Texas A&M, Bama, LSU. You know what I mean? That SEC is tough. I know
dick about college football, but I know that.
And SEC is expanding. They're taking a bunch of the Big 12 over. So it's I don't know, man. I hate to see Kelly go, man, but I wish him the best. Now, if I don't know, man. Cincinnati's got a tough game against Houston. Alabama's got a tough one against Georgia.
Got all these conference championships coming up.
And any one of those get beat. I mean, Notre Dame's in the playoffs, and who's going to coach them?
Does Chris have an updated BCS top 4? I would really appreciate that because I didn't even look that up.
I think it comes out at 9, I believe.
It does come out at 9 every Tuesday, but the thing is, we're on now. So
I think it's going to be the same as last week, except Michigan.
Right.
Will now jump in because they were 5.
Georgia will still
Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's still going to be Georgia, Alabama, Cincinnati, and Michigan is, I believe, going to be the 4. With Ohio State losing.
I'm shocked that Anthony's not here to talk about all these MLB free agent moves. So we won't talk about them until – I mean, if you guys want to talk about them, we will. But if you want
to talk about winners and losers.
What about it?
Did you see what USC paid to get Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, what was that?
Like 95.
They gave him $100 million. They paid off both his houses in Oklahoma, $500,000 over asking price. They gave him a $6 million house in California,
Wow.
and they gave him 24-hour private jet.
Why is he that good? I mean, you think he's that good that he's worth all that?
This is what I think happened with Lincoln Riley. He was gonna go to LSU,
Oh
but
yeah,
USC called him and gave him
a better
something
offer,
in their right mind.
an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah, you can't refuse that.
He was on Colin Cowherd today.
He left Oklahoma for exactly why Phil said. He's going to the SEC, and if you could rebuild a program in California, living in California, in the Pac-12 and not the SEC,
Yeah,
and not look as bad as they're going to look in the SEC,
right.
you would take that. My problem
yeah.
with Brian Kelly, and it's my problem with all these coaches. 8 days ago, he was asked about leaving Notre Dame, and he flat out said no, he's not leaving.
Yeah,
They would
he did, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
They would have to pay him like $250 million. His wife would have to approve.
So did they offer him $250 million?
It was 10 years, 95 is what they paid him.
Yeah.
But today,
That's not $250 million.
To me, this is cowardly. He spoke to his players today for 2 minutes and left. Took no questions, nothing from the players. Just said what he said. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you recruit in someone's living room on Tuesday, and then by Thursday, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave.
How do you think Kelly?
Well,
feels?
I mean,
go ahead, Phil.
I mean, what is worse though? Like lying to the thing, which I agree with you, Harry. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah,
or Cliff Kingsbury. We're not talking about that. Like, give a yes or no. Like, maybe yes, no. Like, we're not talking about that.
Leverage thing, no. He could be leveraging Arizona. You know, or maybe he. You know what? I've always thought this. I don't know if he's an NFL coach. I really don't. I think he might be like great for a season, and then like nothing in the postseason. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sold on him as an NFL coach, and eventually they're going to figure him out. I mean, it's been what, 2 years he's been there. They're gonna catch. I think teams will catch on, and you see what they do. Without Kyler Murray and without Hopkins, they're not looking that great without them too.
Yeah.
But how do you turn down if you're a college coach and you're making $6 million? How do you turn down $9 million? How do you turn down $10 million a year?
So do you guys know who might be lead candidates for those open jobs now for Notre Dame and Oklahoma?
Notre Dame, I'm hearing the Cincinnati coach is a big guy.
Paul
there.
Fleck, yeah.
Yeah.
Freeman, defense coordinator.
Yeah, and that's
Pat,
it.
Oh, what the heck? There's another one. Pat. I want to say Northwestern. Coach up Northwest.
The guy Northwestern. Fitzgerald, you're thinking of Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
But
It's going to be somebody. Like, if you look at, like, Swarbuck, he doesn't hire, like, this is not going to be Tommy Rees or Mike Freeman. It's not going to be a coach's first year coaching, not at Notre Dame. They did that years ago, and Charlie Weiss screwed that program up. They're not going to give it to somebody as their first year, not Notre Dame. I mean, it's, you might not like Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly's is starting. They're number 4. Okay, in recruiting this season. Number 2 in 2023. They also signed another 10-year television deal. So you're not going to give the reins to a first-year head coach. I mean, I would love to see Freeman, our defensive coordinator. The other one I heard was the old LSU coordinator who went to Baylor, Aranda. I can't pronounce his name right now. He was another one they were talking about.
There he is.
But
I think Freeman gets the job. Weird that Kelly would leave the way he is.
well, you know what though? He's going to win national championship in Notre Dame. It's not going to happen.
No.
So he has an opportunity. But I mean, I just
It's a mess. It's a mess.
and you know what? If you're Bob Stoops, right? You handed Lincoln Riley the keys to the kingdom because they had a pretty good team when Stoops was still there.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 years later, he's leaving.
Crazy, right?
And I mean, he could get an NFL job, which I think is something that he should consider because NFL teams want him. I know the Cowboys wanted him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He's got to hope that he does well because I mean, USC, they don't have a good track record of doing well.
Adrian says he's almost back to 60%. He misses us.
So Prince Shango's at 60%. All right.
Don't make him laugh because he'll cough, won't he? If he's got COVID, he'll cough.
This is the Shango.
Yeah.
I'd get closer, but I can't get.
Yeah, that.
Now all we need is like 5,000 women just to chime in, and I think that would be an episode.
Right. Like, yeah. He should have threw us a bone there. It would have been funny. All right, so let's switch gears. Who knows if Anthony might join us a little bit later? So we'll wait on the baseball. We're going to talk baseball in a minute, but I have a question for you guys, which is eating me alive right now because I got this feeling that things have kind of shifted in both the NFC and the AFC. In the favor of the entire season, we've been talking about Rams and Bills kind of being the front runners of both conferences. Has that shifted in your guys' eyes to the Packers and the Pats, the way both of those teams are playing versus the Rams and the Bills? The Bills and Rams are kind of going sideways where the Packers and Pats just keep winning. So do you think the Packers and the Pats now are the favorites in the NFC and the AFC, where earlier in the year we were all of us were all on the Rams and Bills bandwagon?
Well, I will say this: the Rams, Stafford has like 5 injuries or something like that. It's like his elbow, his shoulder, his back, or something like that.
He's playing hurt.
He's playing real hurt. But what I didn't realize till this week, going back to when he was with Detroit, he is not very good against good teams.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they're not running the ball, I think, enough.
Yeah, they got so much talent, but they got a couple key injuries in key places.
Von Miller, bless his heart, is not Von Miller that we remember.
Yeah,
Mm-mm. I told you that when they traded him.
They lost. They're not playing well. But the NFC as a whole,
none of them are, except for Green Bay. So Harry, keep on that same wavelength. Talk about what's going on with the Bills. What's happening there?
Do the Bills know that there's a position called the running back position? Because they don't run the ball at all. Like at all.
Yeah. Well, they try to have Josh Allen win every game.
Well, I mean, listen, Devin Singletary is not bad. They have running back. Zach Moss is a good power back.
Mm-hmm.
He was at a healthy scratch this past week.
Yeah, they want to. Well, they're using Breida as their running back instead of.
Django says Bills are underachieving. Rams aren't the super team people thought they were.
If the Bills were to run the ball, I think they would be in better position because once you get one-dimensional, I don't care how good your offense is. People know what to do.
All right.
And Patriots. Here's the thing with the Patriots.
Okay.
Their defense is like number one.
Yeah, they're playing amazing defense.
And as well as Matt Jones is playing, he's still a rookie.
Yeah, he is.
And college pressure is different than NFL pressure.
They're running a lot too. I mean, Belichick has ball control and good defense, and he's always been about that. But he's always had Tom Brady.
This is going to be the week, though, that will show you how good the Patriots.
We're gonna pick it later, but Pats and Bills on Monday Night Football. I can't wait. I'm sorry, I can't wait. What about Green Bay, Harry? I don't, and then we'll let Phil talk about everything you just talked.
I mean, there was a comparison today, and I didn't think of it. Tom Brady is considered the GOAT for quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But is he the best quarterback?
Well, I know. I don't want to get into the Aaron Rodgers debate with you.
Well, I mean, listen, Aaron Rodgers, to me, I think personally is the best quarterback.
In the league?
Not achievement-wise. Mm-hmm. Pure quarterback, I think the best that's ever done it. He flicks his wrist and it goes 60 yards. He makes it look effortless. It's like there's no effort.
Okay.
I mean, Tom Brady has the achievement. I just think, Aaron Rodgers makes, just like Tom Brady, normal receivers look great. I think the Packers can go as far as their defense will take them. If their defense plays as well,
all right, Chris. But Phil, before you answer this,
question, I saw it came.
Chris just popped up with the live BCS update right now. Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Bama 3, Cincinnati 4, and then you got Oklahoma State 6, Oklahoma State 5,
right?
Notre Dame 6. So there's your updated BCS standings. Those top 4 I don't see going anywhere. So Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Cincinnati, that's probably going to be your playoff right there.
How do you know?
No, because Alabama and Georgia got to play. Alabama will not be in there if they lose to Georgia.
I think they're going to get.
They might be in there because they're Alabama.
Two loss.
I know. But
they already said it. It's already been announced. If
I didn't want
Georgia
to get into this debate. Shango wants to debate on you whether or not Brady's better than no. I don't want to debate. The BCS is full of BS. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So all right. But thank you, Chris. Thank you for that update. And then I want Phil to answer this question.
Well, we're talking about the Packers, and they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but it's not what you do in September and October and November. It's what you do in December. Who's the hottest team right now? And for me right now is San Francisco. They're healthy. They're coming back. You know what I mean? You got Debo playing running back. You got, the running backs
wild
coming
card
back.
Dark horse.
He's out 2 weeks. Debo is out 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah. And right now they're playing hot. Their defense is coming to thing. But the Packers are still the Packers. I didn't see them being here with all that, off-season drama and stuff like that.
Me neither. We counted them out because of it, right?
Yeah. And the Rams problem is they went out and got all these players that were not that good by name only. It's like the Redskins when they went out and got Deion Sanders. Right. Deion Sanders wasn't safe.
Well, when Daniel Snyder tried to put together this dream team and it didn't work.
Yeah. Same thing with Philadelphia when they tried to put together a dream team with.
Yeah, and like Harry said, Stafford's kind of banged up. What about the Bills? What happened to the Bills?
But so is Woods. Woods is out. You know what I mean? That was a big part of that offense too.
Yeah, but you have Jefferson.
And they
could be that.
But they did. They replaced Jefferson in there. But like Harry said, and I agree with Harry on this, is they got away from the running game. I mean, Darrell Henderson is not a bad running back. I mean,
Michelle too. Sonny Michelle.
Yeah, when Akers went down, everybody's we ain't got to run. And if you look at Darrell Henderson's stats, I mean, he was averaging over 5 yards per carry. Mm-hmm. And
doing all right for me in fantasy. He's doing all right for me in fantasy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When he gets a chance to, anyway.
So is the answer to this question yes? Do you think the Packers and the Pats are now the favorites in those in each conference?
Yeah, because of injury-wise. Tennessee got knocked out with Henry.
Sometimes I believe right. Tennessee got knocked down a peg.
As long as them two teams stay healthy, they will be a force to be reckoned with.
Can the Patriots Can the Patriots win the AFC East?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the winner of Monday night's game win the AFC East?
I think the winner wins the AFC East. Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
wow.
Hey, you guys remember when Julio?
Never count out Brady.
You guys remember when Julio Jones was supposed to be such a great
That was
thing?
Fournette. It wasn't Brady.
Big win against Indianapolis. Nobody wants to play the Bucs.
Listen, Harry, I've said it for years. Julio Jones is good inside the 20s. When you get in the red zone, there's no Julio Jones has all the receptions, all the yardage.
He did that in Atlanta.
One year he
had
2 touchdowns. He for some reason
he can't
catch touchdown.
And he just can't
catch touchdown. Shango, is that Russell Wilson was out for 3 or 4 weeks, and then when he came back, he's still not right.
He's gun shy.
I think Pete Carroll needs to retire. I think the game is just.
I did not know they were 3-8.
Yeah, they're bad
at this point.
They're bad. Yeah,
that's insane that they've lost 8 games. When was the last time the Seahawks lost 8 games?
They got 3. They got 3 really good receivers. Eskridge from Eastern Michigan. He's really good.
DK Metcalf.
They ain't.
Jesus
I don't
God.
know, man.
Russell,
what's going on?
All right, we've done waited for Anthony long enough. Let's switch over to baseball. Phil, I'm gonna lean on you a lot. I know Harry knows his baseball too, but
you know what?
What are some of the biggest moves that happened? AJ was driving us nuts in the chat with all the signings, and Harry's always on top of actually how much money they're making and shit like that.
And that's fine. The Mets went out and spent money, got Scherzer, Marte, Escobar. I believe they got another outfielder. I can't remember who.
Escobar.
Mark Conha.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So and then they're talking about extending Nimmo. You know what I mean? I'm like, we don't put him. But then I remember there's a possibility of DH coming to the National League.
Well, no, it's not a possibility. That's happening.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're trying. We got a lockout coming in at midnight here, so we won't see any more free agents gone.
Right.
Detroit went and got Javier Baez. Texas Rangers spent a lot of money, but they still have a weak
my
pitching
good
staff.
friend Bryce Harper when he said that they'll resolve their differences in time for spring training.
Yeah, and I do. I think they'll have a new CBA. Philadelphia's made a hard push for Kyle Schwarber.
How do you feel about that?
You know what? I like it because Kyle Schwarber was on the downside, and when he got with Long, he reintroduced the swing for him. And we got Kevin Long. It's fine. We need outfielders. We need.
I know.
We signed some things.
He's a good center fielder. I get it, but he bats 250.
My biggest winners, losers. I have 250 for 40 home runs. Who cares?
Yeah, 40 home runs. He just strikes out or he hits it out of the ballpark.
At 250, that's not a lot of strikeouts. Like Javier Baez. He's bat 230 and he's led the league in strikeouts.
Harry, who are some of the big money signings?
Wait, I want to give you my winner.
Okay, go ahead. Winners and losers.
Losers is Dodgers. Because they lost Seager and all that. My winner, man, believe it or not, was only one signing. But this is the reason I took them as a winner. And Harry's going to love this. Atlanta Braves. They signed Kirby Yates to an already powerful fucking bullpen. Ozuna's coming back.
What about the Mets getting Max?
I'm telling you, man, it doesn't matter. You got to get to the ninth. Well, I believe the Braves.
They're going to have DeGrom. And Max and
DeGrom,
those hitters.
Has he ever pitched 200 innings, DeGrom?
Oh man!
Well, I will say
they were.
You're getting Acuna, Ozuna,
they would have been good this year
if
it wasn't for injuries.
Jock Peterson.
I don't want Jock.
I
don't want Jock Peterson.
I can make an argument that the Mets would have won the NL East had they not had all these injuries.
No,
Soroka is going to be healthy.
With that division.
They were
Anderson's going to have a first.
Didn't run away with that division. They only won that division by 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, with people that they got at the trade deadline. Like,
Look at this. Max Fried. Okay.
That
And
voice.
Anderson.
Haha. What about the
Mike
Mets?
Soroka.
Exactly.
yeah, and you got to figure we didn't have Soroka all year, and Osuna was too busy beating up women, so
Oh
he
my
wasn't.
gosh. Here we go.
But you know
Right.
what? I think if you're a Mets fan, I think you're happy, and I think you're happy for two reasons.
Mad
You
Max.
you have a good 1-2 punch. It's a great 1-2 punch.
Best in the National League.
That's a lot of money for a 37-year-old pitcher.
Well,
but
that's the problem there. Yeah.
Scherzer had a great year last year.
He makes more annually than the Orioles and Pirates' whole fucking baseball team.
Yeah. And I think he makes a little bit more than the third one that's on that list. Yeah.
That was only $43 million.
Yeah.
Max, way overpaid. Mets could have got 3 or 4 good pitchers for that price. He only pitches one time every 5 games. Stupid.
Well, so does DeGrom.
It's
So
not
does
stupid if they win the NL East, and I'm
all
worried
these
because Phillies haven't done shit.
But here's the thing. You have an owner, if you're a Mets fan, that will spend money.
Yeah.
He's spending money on Lindor. He's spending money.
Luxury tax be damned. He don't give a shit.
Yeah. This is, and AJ doesn't agree with me. It's his pocket change to him. He wants to win a championship in 3 to 5 years.
He wants the Mets to no. He wants them to win like in the next 2 or 3 years.
Here's the crazy and stupid part of baseball to me. You have the Mariners, the Tigers, and the Rangers, right? Spending astronomical amounts of money, right? And they suck. So one wins 70 games. So you get Simeon and you get Seager.
Yeah.
So what do you win? 80 games? As opposed to 70 games?
Right.
And John Gray.
Yeah. So, I mean, you spend all this money and you still, you know, but then, you know, everyone's like, that's the thing. But I think the Mets should have got Baez. I don't think that's a lot of money for him.
He says Yankees spend money on big town as well. Still no championships. They got what 27. That's a lot to me.
Their big money is Stanton, which I can see where people are upset, and Garrett Cole, who's worth every penny that you pay him.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
till playoffs.
I mean, they're apparently in the there's a center fielder that plays with the Rays that they might trade for it. I forget his name off the top of my head. But they might trade with the Rays to get him, who apparently is like one of the best center fielders in the game. But I mean, there's all those bad teams spend every year. Bad teams spend a lot of money to upgrade their team, and they're still terrible. You know, you got to spend it smart, and if you spend it smart, you can win. The Rays win every year, and their payroll's like $13 million or whatever.
Explain that, cuz.
What's that?
Tampa Bay doesn't spend a lot of money, yet they're contenders every year.
Well, hell, they had so many top 5 fucking picks in the fucking in the draft.
Well, and you know what? They develop well. They
do. They have one of the better minor league system. I mean, I think they got like 6 or 7 in the top 100. You know.
Will the champs be back next year? The Braves, will they be back on top of the East?
No, the East, yeah, but overall,
yeah, they. I like the Braves over the Mets. The Mets got great pitch staff. So do the Braves.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, you got Carrasco as number 3. But the thing is I like the bats. If they re-sign Freeman, I like the bats better.
They better re-sign Freeman.
I don't see how they don't.
AJ talking about him going to the Yankees was making me sick, and I don't even give a damn.
Because AJ just
I did it. I started it first because I was trying to get under Harry's skin with the Cowboys.
Just saying.
Damn Astros.
All right. I went back and I watched the tape from 2 weeks ago, and then we picked against each other on the picks last week, and I have an updated standings for our picks when we pick 4 games
I'm
every
in horror.
show. We have picked 48 games. I'm sorry, no more. Wait, I'm wrong. Is it 40? Yeah, I'm sorry. It is. I'm right. We've picked 48 games. There's been 12 weeks. We pick 4 games every week. And Cousin Phil has picked 31 of those 48 correct. He's 31-17. And the ones that we picked, if you look on the Yahoo Sports thing, because I know you don't pick them, but me, him, and AJ
I forget every week to do it. I'm not going to lie.
Right, and I know, and because you forget, it's an automatic loss. So if you don't pick, it's automatically a loss. Like you and Shango are like 30 games behind or whatever. But anyway, he's like 20 games plus above me and AJ. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't like this.
But this is what happened. 2 weeks ago, you went 0-4. Last week, you made a comeback though, and you went 3-1. So, but Phil's 31-17. Adrian's 2 games behind him, 2 win in the win column, 29-19. You are even now at 24-24 after the bad week 2 weeks ago, and I'm up to 28-20. I'm only 1 game behind Adrian. AJ's off because he hasn't picked in 2 weeks, and I'm not gonna pretend that he has a number.
Oh, he's very boisterous for someone that's been off.
Well, he did know he picked last week. He did send the picks last week, but he hadn't picked in like 2 weeks before that. Hey Harry, do you still have faith in Dallas?
Listen, I have all the faith in my team.
I'm starting to believe. And Shango has not been on their bandwagon all year. When everybody was picking them for the Super Bowl.
I don't want him on the wagon. He's kicked off the wagon.
I'm on Shango's wagon. That they're not gonna. They'll win the division because the division sucks. But I'm on Shango's wagon that they're not going to do anything in the playoffs.
We haven't had our receivers in 2 weeks though.
You agree with that?
We haven't had our 2 best receivers. Our defense is banged up. There's injuries there.
Okay.
To be fair, not to say that we played
Michael Parsons. You still got Trayvon Diggs.
Okay, fantastic. Do you know who our receivers are? After you get away from CD Lamb and Amari Cooper, can you name me a wide receiver?
Gallup.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Wilson.
If Wilson is our wide receiver, I'm sorry, we're in trouble.
How come that? No, it's coaching. The bottom line with the Cowboys is coaching. It's coaching. You have all that talent on both sides of the ball. They have a shitty defensive coordinator, and they have a shitty head coach.
Wait.
Stop.
Not according to Chris Vant. It's not the coach. It's the players.
Okay.
Here's
all the talent, and I'm sorry, that's wrong. But you can have all the talent in the world. You have a lot of talent on that team, and they'll win you some games on their own.
But but there's no Randy Gregory. There's no Lawrence. All right. There's key positions that we haven't had.
Cowboys, if healthy, are dangerous. They're not dangerous. You're wrong.
Okay, that's incorrect.
I am not afraid of them at all. They are not going to go to the Super Bowl. I said many times, I have said all year that I believe in them to get into the playoffs, to make some waves, and perhaps even get as far as, and I'm not officially picking this, to the NFC Championship game, but that's as far as they'll go. They'll lose out there and disappoint you and every other Cowboy fan out there that this was the year where, they should have went all the way, but they let you down again.
No, here's the thing, and this is what the Cowboys are at this point. Yeah. Okay, good. With that receiving core, yeah, that's fantastic. That's a bad receiving core.
What's wrong with Ezekiel Elliott? What's wrong with Pollard? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with the offensive line? What's wrong with Dak?
No, nothing wrong with.
Nothing's wrong with Dak. He keeps you in games. You're right. It's the defense that's losing for you.
No, I know.
Okay.
Dak, he's been on some stuff because he'll miss these 2 or 3 throws every game in the last 3 weeks that I think between the 3 of us could throw it to that person.
So let's pick.
And it's always like 2nd and 8 or 3rd and 5 or something like that. And all right, he gets it. You're talking 10 to 12 yards. And every week he does this.
Just later on, rewind this tape, rewatch it, and realize I had said nothing at all.
Why
I
not?
don't want to hear nothing in the chat because I felt bad at you and
No,
Shango
but you know what?
attacking him.
I don't know. I don't know if Alan
I'm
watched.
not attacking anybody.
Alan, did you watch Jalen Hurts? Because if you watch Jalen Hurts, I don't think you should speak about people's quarterbacks.
I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts. We're
No,
talking about Dak Prescott.
I would be worried about Jalen Hurts if I was.
I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is an experiment, and the jury's still out on him. Is he going to be our quarterback next year? I don't know.
He looked, Alan.
Is he going to be our franchise quarterback? I doubt it.
He looked bad. Like when I watched that game, he was making some throws, and I'm like, why would you?
That game? I don't even want to talk about that game because you know why? Because that game was revenge by Roger Goodell over last year's tanking, where that keep the Giants out of the damn playoffs.
No, that was right. He's, you know what? But all right. So as an Eagle,
Jalen Hurts did not lose that game. By the way,
he did.
Jalen Reagor lost that game.
Oh, by the way,
drop passes were there? What about the fumble by Boston Scott?
Do you know
they
who
lost that game by 6 points? It wasn't Jalen Hurts' fault. It wasn't the 4 interceptions.
Do you know who you picked? You picked Jalen Reagor. Do you know who you picked ahead of? You could have picked instead of him.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson. I know. I've heard that 1,000 times. Yeah, throw me another one. All right, can we pick this game now? Can we stop talking about the stupid Eagles? Cowboys at the Saints. Big game for both teams. Sort of.
Well, here the X factor is to me, and I know Cooper's probably not playing because why would he? But if Alvin Kamara doesn't play, I think the Cowboys win. If he plays,
it doesn't matter. The Saints are garbage. They got beat by the Eagles.
But I mean, Taysom Hill he's okay. I mean, to me that's the X factor. It's Kamara. But I mean, I'm still picking. Oh, here he is. I know why he's here. He's here to just run his mouth. Tell me he told me so.
Taysom Hill is starting, by the way.
I don't know if you knew this. Last week, the Chiefs had a bye. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. He was in bed, man. All right. Adrian, who's winning, the Cowboys or the Saints?
Do it. Can't say it. Just say it. And get off the wagon. You're not welcome.
We already know that you said the Cowboys, Harry.
I'm picking the Cowboys for this one.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not insane, but I'm not gonna sit there and
the Saints are royal garbage. They are.
You're not welcome. The wagon does not want you. There's a sign that says no.
Okay.
They're banged. And listen, the Saints when they were healthy are a good team and a good coach, but they're banged up. And the Eagles took advantage of that. And the Cowboys are going to do the same exact thing. Phil, do you disagree?
Oh, I'm going Cowboys.
Yeah, we all take Cowboys. I hate to say this, but the Saints. Jessica, what are you on, man? All right.
She hit her head this weekend. I'm guessing.
On the headboard?
On something.
What were you doing this weekend, Adrian?
Yeah, I was in bed.
Yeah. All right, next game is Washington at the Raiders. Actually, Washington's on a bit of a roll, and they're playing themselves into a possible wild card if they keep rolling like they are.
Right.
Heineke played pretty damn good in that Seattle game. The Raiders had a pretty good Thanksgiving, and they're hot and cold. So this is a hard game to pick for me. I'm just going to go with Vegas just because they're home, but that's the only reason. I think these teams are pretty well matched, my opinion, because one week they look good and the next week they don't. And I know Derek Carr's a better and there's more talent on the Raiders, but the Raiders are I can't figure them out. I never can, and when I want to jump on the Raiders bandwagon, I'm wrong. So I'm probably going to be wrong in saying this, but I think the Raiders win just because they're at home. Harry?
Well, it depends if the Raiders decide to use Josh Jacobs. If they use Josh Jacobs, they win. If they decide not to use Josh Jacobs, they don't win. But saying that, I'm going to go Washington just because I think their defense is not going to be great, but I think Tyler Heineke's going to just will them to win. He's a hell of a quarterback.
He's playing good.
great,
I gotta
but-
give him credit. I mean, he's not a world beater,
No,
but he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't turn the ball over. He seems to have control. He at the line of scrimmage, he does a lot of things that you mentioned Jalen Hurts earlier that Jalen Hurts doesn't do. He audibles a lot, which Jalen Hurts won't do. Jalen Hurts just runs the play that's called.
and he's got a pretty good receiver to throw it to. Warren is pretty, he's a good solid receiver that you could
McLaren.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty.
Raiders, Washington.
I'm going Washington because of Logan Thomas is back, Curtis Samuel's healthy, J.D. McKissick out of the backfield, and they got a guy that's finally back that came last week was Allen, defensive line, who's going to take over for Chase Young, who they lost for the season. But I'm going Redskins, our football team.
Well, I still call them that too. Washington. I picked the Raiders, Mr. Adrian.
I'm going Washington.
So you all take Washington, and I'm the lone guy out here on the Raiders. My man Chris Vant picked the Raiders too. I feel good about that pick. I could move up one on that one. You all picked the Washington. That's great.
You're good.
Broncos at the Chiefs. Broncos have been playing really good lately. Chiefs need this one though to stay on top of the AFC West. It's not always an easy game for them. It's always a game where, they're rolling and they're rolling and they're rolling. And then somehow, no matter how good or bad the Broncos are, they seem to be a thorn in their sides in that division. It's usually they steamroll the Raiders. Usually they steamroll the Chargers. But then when it comes to the Broncos, for some reason, the Broncos and Chiefs, when they get together, man, it's always a hard-hitting, nasty game. I'm going to still take the Chiefs, though, but I think it's going to be close.
I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Harry, Chiefs. Cuz?
Chiefs.
Everybody takes the Chiefs there.
Definitely.
Now let's talk about the main event. Holy shit. Is this timing or what by the NFL? We did not know that the Patriots we did not know that the Patriots would get this good, but we're talking Monday Night Football in Buffalo in December. Patriots are now on top of the AFC East when everybody was jumping on the Bills bandwagon, including myself and almost everybody else in this room. Earlier in the year, we were like, Bills. And here comes fucking Mac Jones. And here comes fucking Bill Belichick. And now we have Pats and Bills. Basically a playoff game right here, right now in week 13.
Yep.
Adrian, who wins this game?
It's kind of hard to pick this one because if you look at it, like you said, everybody's been on the Bills. Everybody was saying that the Bills was going to, take this that whole division by storm. And if you looking at it now, the way the Pats have been playing has been amazing. They got a rookie quarterback playing like he's been in the league for a couple of years. They got a team that's kind of clicking on all cylinders. They're not like necessarily blowing people away. They're just playing smart.
Yep.
They're playing a lot smarter than
turning the ball over.
Exactly.
Defense.
Exactly. And then you got the Bills, who I think they kind of lost their identity who they were as a team. First, they were one of the best teams in the league with the passing attack and great defense, and then the defense started failing, and they just kind of lost their identity. So I think that
they lost to Jacksonville, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I still can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah. I think they all had COVID.
Trevor Lawrence can't believe it either.
Yeah, I know.
That's unbelievable. All right, so you're picking New England.
My gut's telling me to go with the Pats.
Harry.
I hate saying this because I'm tired of them winning, but
So bye.
I'm only picking the Patriots for one reason. The Bills lost to Davius White for the year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the between him and Oliver. I think that's like the key pieces of that defense.
Okay.
And the Bills just don't run the ball. That's the problem. They just don't. They don't know the position exists.
Yeah, if it's ball control, Belichick's a genius at that.
Yeah, the Patriots have two good running backs, Stevenson, Harris. I'm just tired of them winning. I want the Bills
I
to
am
win.
too. I want the Bills to win also, but I have a bad feeling about this. Kind of like a Star Wars line there. All right, Bill.
I was going past it till the sick guy over here said his gut, and his gut's not feeling well right now. So it's I'm going Bills.
Wow.
I'm going to Bills.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, we picked three same games. We picked three
did.
the same. Either he gains one on me, or I gain three on him.
Correct.
I'm only doing the Bills. I love the Pats. Don't get
I'm
me
gonna
wrong.
throw a prayer out there and just I'm gonna pick Buffalo too.
Oh fuck, we lost.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm right. Oh, come on, now he's dying now.
Sorry, Sean.
Way to go. All right. So Adrian, I'll show you the standings. I went back and watched the tape and double checked it and made sure Philip is 31-17. You're 2 games behind him at 29 wins. Harry went even keel after having a really bad week 2 weeks ago. And I'm 28-20. I'm only 1 game behind you now. So but anyway, will the Jets get their first win against the Eagles? Do you know the Jets have never beaten the Eagles ever?
No, I didn't know that.
That's one of the that's a stat I heard earlier on WIP this week, that the New York Jets have never beaten the Eagles in a regular season game in the history of both teams.
Wow.
Never.
I did not know that.
If the Jets defense shows up like they did against Houston, it's possible.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm
going to tell you right now. They're going to destroy them.
The Jets are going to destroy the
Eagles are going to destroy the Jets.
It's possible.
By at least 3 touchdowns. Because the world is going to think the Jets have a prayer, because the Jets won last week and the Eagles lost to a shitty New York Giants team. But the problem is, when those rivalries play, when those NFC East teams play, throw the fucking records out the window.
Exactly.
Joe Judge had those guys revved up because of what happened last year. The Eagles cost the Giants going into the playoffs.
13-7.
They had them revved up, man. They
How
played.
much revved up are you?
Everybody's talking about how much mistakes the Eagles made in that game, but the Giants made good plays too. The Giants made good defensive plays too. The Eagles defense kept them in that game, but the Giants defense also made some good plays, had some interceptions, key interceptions at the time, and things like that. So, and
because he threw the ball at him.
Huh? The bottom line there was play calling in the first half. Because why didn't they run the ball like they did the prior 2 weeks? They ran the ball hardly at all. They had him passing. Why? And they were throwing the ball to Jalen Reagor, not to Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert, to Jalen fucking Reagor, who sucks.
He's terrible.
He was wide open.
And Devontae Smith was wide open on that last drop that Jalen Reagor had. Devontae Smith on the left-hand side was wide open. He took his helmet off and threw it in the fucking bench, and he was pissed.
He is the Evan Ingram of Philadelphia, is Jalen Reagor.
Pissing me off,
man.
You
need to just get rid of him.
It's pissing me off. They picked Howie Roseman is to blame for all this because they picked, like Harry said before, they picked him over Justin Jefferson. Are you fucking kidding me?
And they picked J.J. Whiteside or whatever, goofball, whatever,
Over
over
DK
fucking
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
You realize we could have Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf on this team?
Yep.
And Devontae
You imagine
Smith.
that?
Yeah.
They would. I don't know if they would have picked Devontae Smith had they had those two other guys. I think they
No,
probably would have. They probably would have drafted him.
Think about it like this: the Giants
They probably would
decided
have took Mac Jones.
Saquon Barkley, who had 42 yards and 32 of them was on one run. So
You all right, Adrian?
number 2 pick on a running back who sucks and can't do anything at all.
Right.
Then you wouldn't
All
have
right. One last question. One last question, boys, before we get out of here. And that is, if the stars align and if everything goes to plan, if the NFL is fixed, in other words, who wins the Super Bowl if it's Brady versus Belichick? What if it's Tampa Bay versus the Pats? Something we couldn't think about a couple of weeks ago. We didn't know how that the Pats. Huh?
There's only one L in Belichick.
Whatever. You had to point that out live.
My bad. You asked me what? I whispered.
Whispering doesn't help. I don't know how to spell Belichick. Better? I don't even think that's how you spell his name.
No, that's not.
Who cares? We got the point. Brady versus Belichick. Who's better?
Brady versus Bill. We'll just call it that.
Who wins?
Brady.
See, if AJ was on here, he'd be screaming Belichick. He'd be screaming Mac Jones because he would be telling you that. Remember when we did the draft? When we did the draft show, and I'm the only one that said Mac Jones is going to be something, and he was right. Mac Jones is gonna be something. The problem is Mac Jones has something that Brady does not have, which is inexperience. Inexperience in the playoffs on that stage. It happens to the best of them. Mac Jones could be a world beater. We don't know that yet. Mac Jones could end up having a better career than Tom Brady. We don't know that yet. But what we do know is he's still a rookie. And what we do know is he's never played an NFL playoff game yet. You got to win that first playoff game before you go to the Super Bowl. And even if he somehow gets to the Super Bowl, no matter who he's playing, whether it's Tampa Bay or not, that stage is a whole different stage. And Tom Brady's been there 10 freaking times and won 7 of them. So don't tell me that if it's Bill Belichick with Mac Jones versus Tom Brady, who's been there, and this would be his 11th time, you ain't telling me Tom Brady ain't winning that Super Bowl. I don't care what you say. They could play it 10 times, and Brady would win 8 or 9 of them.
Brady wins for the simple fact is the NFC East will not be in the Super Bowl. He's 0-3 against the NFC East. So 7-0 against everybody else. So I go Brady.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
He's in the NFC. He doesn't have to worry about that.
can we? I mean, Bruce Arians is a good coach too. Let's not.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
not Belichick. But to me, the main difference is just the talent around them too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at Tampa Bay. You have a good running game. Fournette's a good running back. You have Gronkowski. I think O.J. Howard's still on the team. No one really knows. But you have Antonio Brown. You have Godwin. You have Evans.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah,
They're still the champs until they're dethroned, but that's
You
not
have
my
a good
point.
run defense.
My point is, if it's
Tom Brady-
Patriots, can you imagine the ratings on that Super Bowl?
Oh my God, through the roof.
Oh, man.
Don't tell me the NFL doesn't want that Super Bowl before Brady retires. By the way, cuz you mentioned the NFC East. What if Brady faces the Cowboys in the playoffs?
That would be a
He
huge,
loses.
that would be a great ratings game too.
Yeah, would be.
You know.
All right, Adrian, we're gonna let you go, brother. I hope you feel better.
Yeah, man, we'll do.
Thanks for popping on. Thanks for popping on, though.
Not a problem, guys.
Get
We
well
love you.
soon,
We
man.
love you, and get well
Get well
soon.
soon.
All right.
All right, guys.
And he is out.
He sounds terrible.
He does.
He really does.
He does. But I love that he even showed up and still brought his picks on there, and that's really cool. And I hope he gets better soon. But Brady versus Belichick, even I hate both of them, but I would love to watch that Super Bowl.
You know what? I mean, there's just too much firepower on Tampa. You know, I mean, who's Mac Jones throwing the ball to? I mean, yeah, Hunter Henry's he's an all right tight end. But you throw it to
Kendrick Bourne.
Aguilar, like like
Nelson Aguilar.
like,
Remember him, cuz? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The answer to that question to me, if it's Brady versus Belichick in the Super Bowl, Brady wins. That's my opinion.
and who knows if either team's gonna get there. Because you
Great show. Enjoy the cold up there while I'm in the 70s up here. Fuck you, you prick.
Hey, it's gonna be
Me
in the
too.
50s tomorrow.
Yo, yeah. He lives in Louisiana.
It's gonna be 50 tomorrow. Not tomorrow. On Thursday.
It was
50.
snowing. What about Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, no. That sounds like a law firm.
He's a wide receiver
It's also
for New England. All right.
It actually is a law firm down here, believe it or not. We have a
Jacoby and Myers.
Yeah.
Jacoby and Myers. Yeah. I've seen them commercials. All right. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you, Adrian, for showing up. Get well soon. Thanks, Chris Vant, for everything. Home T Sports is back, and we will be back next week as usual for a lot more, and we'll see what happens this week. Jets and Eagles. Don't think you're going to try to make a side bet on it, because no, I'm not doing it. All right. Any final words there, cuz?
No.
Harry?
No, I just, it was a good show. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll see you.
Sirianni sucks.
We'll all see you next time on Home T Sports.